What is going on, everybody? It is Alex coming back at you with another video on top of my round 2 of my 2022 mock draft. I am going to be giving you guys a mock on Daniel Jeremiah's 2.0 mock draft. Shout out to Giants for Life for messaging me in the comments section below to be able to tell me about this dropping because I didn't get a notification for it. So thank you to you for being able to make this video possible and as soon as possible, because obviously we want to make sure that we get the content out as soon as possible for you guys. So, of course, you guys are new. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that YouTube jazz. Let's get to 4K by draft day, and it's looking pretty damn fine. Let's kick it off. Number 1 pick, we got Evan Neal here to the Jacksonville Jaguars, out of Alabama. I love him. I think they should be the number 1 player. He is my number 1 graded player in the class. Just a guy who's a freaky athlete, freaky size, freaky technique, has minor things to address, but honestly, compared to all the other tackles in this class, his negatives are far less negative, so to speak. Number 2, you got Aiden Hutchinson here. Guy is an absolute beast. I do love Aiden Hutchinson. Floor is Trey Hendrickson, and that's a really damn good floor. Ceiling is probably like a lower end Bosa, which is still freaking amazing and well worth the number 2 overall pick. Detroit needs to get something right. They need to hit on this pick. So getting Aiden Hutchinson, to me, is the most logical. I used to think it was KT because you can get somebody who's better. His ceiling's higher. But honestly, Detroit just needs to hit well. They have a division where the offensive lines aren't that amazing. And that's going to be perfect for someone who can get 8 to 12 sacks a year. 3, Houston Texans go Kyle Hamilton. I don't care about you guys being able to see the other picks. Kyle Hamilton here. I would personally go offensive line with Icky just because, again, I think there's 3 tackles that will probably start in this draft. And I think that is going to be a lot more of a higher demand than even a unicorn who is my number 1 or my number 3 player in this draft, Kyle Hamilton. So I think Icky, even though he's lower on my board, still should be taken above Kyle just because of the lack of positional depth. And don't listen to people who say this tackle class is good. It's not. You have 3 guys who will be able to start. And then you have a couple guys who have a chance of maybe starting. One of them will be taken at pick 7. So, but regardless, yeah, Kyle Hamilton's a stud. If this happens, I'm going to say they should have went with Icky. But again, you draft a unicorn player, that's going to stick in your system for a long time. I don't like the fact that he's just pretty much going to be either in the slot or else in a deep cover 2 zone. If he's going to be in a deep half coverage, just not great. But again, the guy's a stud. I love him. New York Jets going Ike Ekwonu. Best case scenario for you guys is him or KT. And again, you can pick your poison at that one. I think getting Ike Ekwonu and upgrading over George Fant is going to be the best choice. New York Giants getting Travon Walker. Big riser on a lot of people's boards. I do think that he is a unique talent, but he is nowhere near the talent level of KT. He's rivaling Jermaine Johnson. I love Travon Walker. I think he's an outstanding prospect. I think that on the inside, as like a 3-4 defensive end or 5 tech, as we like to call it, he could definitely be probably a early second to mid second rounder. But as an edge rusher, like just the sky's the limit with this guy. He's insane. But that is a big riser. I know a lot of people have him very high on their boards. Oh, okay, here we go. Actually, it wasn't at number 7. It was at number 6. Trevor Penning to the Panthers. Like, I don't know. Like, because DJ was there in Mobile. There's no way he wasn't. Yeah, you see someone like Trevor Penning, and he had so many holes. Like, why would you get Trevor Penning above Charles Cross? Charles Cross, 600 pass reps in the past 2 years. Trevor Penning couldn't even block a guy for more than 1 rep straight. Like, I think there might have been like maybe 1 or 2 stretches where the one-on-ones where Trevor Penning actually succeeded at blocking a guy. I just like, yeah, his power's great, but this is a team that needs to hit on an offensive lineman or a quarterback. It's one of the 2. You have to. You're swinging for the fences. I don't get it. I really don't get it. That's a terrible pick in my eyes. New York Giants going Drake London. Don't understand that either. With offensive line needs through the roof, I don't get it. You're just getting another weapon and having Daniel Jones get crushed. That's not a Brian Daboll move either. I don't think Brian Daboll would even do that. Like, no disrespect to Drake London. I've been his biggest fan since day one. Like, he was in the first round mocks on my first way too early ones. Like, I love Drake London. This is not the place for him. Of all places, it's like Kenny Galladay's still getting paid a pretty penny. Like, you can try to make it work with him. You don't have to force Drake London in there. It really doesn't make sense. Like, I just don't understand it. I think that wide receiver is probably the last position I'd address on the offense. And he addressed it with his second pick in the first round. I don't get it. Number 8, the Falcons getting KT. That would be a damn steal. Again, another guy who could have went right here, and just I'm not even gonna expect anything anymore from him. Yeah, you got Jermaine Johnson here. And this could be a spot for him. I mean, again, I don't think that, like, I've been Jermaine Johnson's biggest fan. Like, I said that about somebody else, but I've been Jermaine Johnson's hype man for a hot minute now. And that was way before the Senior Bowl. I've loved this man since the moment I watched him. This guy's fun. This could be a spot for him because, again, you are lacking at that edge position. I just don't understand. Like, you really have to go after someone like Jameis Winston or something. And, like, I personally would go after a QB with this pick. I just swing for the fences and go after somebody like Malik Willis, or, I mean, you could try to trade for Kirk Cousins. I heard that's big in the news now. Like, if you trade a second round pick for Kirk Cousins, or even this pick, I think Kirk Cousins is better than probably all the quarterbacks in this class, even for $40 million. Like, just honestly make it work. I don't know. I don't think Jermaine Johnson's worth this pick. I think his ceiling pick is number 8, but his floor pick is 17. So he's in a tight range. He's in tight range for sure. New York Jets getting Sauce Gardner. I would not complain at all. Ike Ekwonu, Sauce Gardner, I would be a big fan of that get. Washington Commanders getting Kenyon Green. I'd be fine with it. Honestly, he can also play tackle. That would be probably my biggest pissed off moment, is I have a second round grade on Green as a guard, but as a left tackle, I have a first, and, well, you just signed Charles Leno to a 3-year, $37.5 million contract, and you have Sam Cosmi on the right tackle. You're pretty much wasting Kenyon Green, and it's not even close to your biggest need. So I'm not a huge fan of that, but again, fixing your offensive line, to me, I will never, ever, like, get really pissed off at you for it. Vikings and Trent McDuffie, I really have to do my re-eval because my first eval was not 2.0 on Mr. McDuffie. But regardless, I think that he fits a different scheme than this one. I don't think he fits the Vikings at all. When you're in this situation, why not test your chances on someone like Andrew Booth, who's a hyper athlete? And that term gets used a lot lately. There's just a lot of people who like to use that for everybody. Somebody even said it for George Karlaftis. Like, there's a difference. Andrew Booth on another level in terms of his athleticism. Browns getting Karlaftis. It could be what they do. They're losing Jadeveon Clowney as well as Tack McKinley, but man, I mean, I love George. He's a blue chip player for me. It's just like, I'm really thinking, like, what are you going to do on the offensive side? Your defense is the one thing that doesn't exactly need fixing compared to your offense. You need some help over there. Ravens getting Derek Stingley Jr. Wouldn't that be a dream? Don't even need to talk about it. Eagles going David Ojabo. I'm just not that big of a fan of David Ojabo, but given the guys who are on the board, I could see it certainly happening, and I wouldn't be too pissy if the board fell like this, if they went David Ojabo. This is the pick that pissed me off. Devontae Wyatt, and I love Devontae Wyatt. One, what does he offer this team? Honestly, like, I don't get it. You have Milton Williams, who is essentially a developing Devontae Wyatt. I have absolutely zero freaking clue what Devontae Wyatt's going to do on the squad. Is he going to be Javon Hargrave's replacement? Well, why would you get that in the first? Like, you can develop somebody. You have Marlon Tuipulotu, who's developing. You have other guys as well on that roster who are developing. Why would you spend a first-round pick? At least get Jordan Davis. Like, I don't even like Jordan Davis. At least get someone who's more unique than Devontae Wyatt, because, again, no disrespect to Mr. Wyatt, but he is not anything new to the Eagles. He's better than Jordan Davis, in my opinion, but he's not new. At least Fletcher Cox can be replaced by Jordan Davis, who's just complete unique build compared to most people in this draft. I don't get it. I don't. Honestly, it's stupid. Speaking of stupid, the Chargers, why? There are so many good wide receivers on the board, and you go Chris Olave. It doesn't make sense. This guy is not even that good. I'm going to be honest. I have a second round grade on him. And he is a good prospect, but compared to the other wide receivers, Treylon Burks, Jahan Dotson, as well as, Garrett Wilson, Why the hell would Chris Olave go above him? I have no clue. I have no clue. No clue. I'm just none. Saints going Kenny Pickett makes sense. They can't re-sign a quarterback and can't pay for one. Eagles going Garrett Wilson. I'd love that for him. I'd love it. Steelers going Malik Willis. I'd love that as well. You know, just test it out in Pittsburgh, see how it all goes. Patriots going Devin Lloyd. Again, that makes sense. Raiders going Charles Cross. Wouldn't that be a fucking dream? I'm just not even going to respond to that. Kyler Gordon to the Cardinals. I dig it. You know, somebody who could definitely fit there. Really good athlete. I would be concerned because I'd rather get a proven corner in the first. Somebody who's been a little bit more as a true number one than number two, like Kyler is. That might be a concern of mine, especially with a team like the Cardinals, where you need somebody to actually step in and be your corner one. But again, you know, Kyler Gordon, far from a terrible pick. Nakobe Dean's a steal here. I love it. Buffalo Bills getting Treylon Burks. That's like a dream pick. The more I watch Treylon, the more I actually fall in love with him. Tyler Linderbaum to the Titans. I'm not even going to respond to that. As you guys know, he's my number 3 player in the draft. He's my number 4 player in the draft. 3 graded. The guy's insane. Buccaneers getting Jameson Williams. Yeah, I can see it. That'd be a good one. That'd be a good pick. Boye Mafe to the Raiders or to the Packers. Jesus. No. I mean, there's better edge rushers on the board. I can see it happening just because people love his freaky athleticism. But I mean, do you want to wait a Rashawn Gary period of time for him to work? We'll see. Dolphins getting Tyler Smith. So who was the first ever to talk about Tyler Smith? This guy. I love fucking Tyler Smith. That being said, he is not a tackle. If you guys watch him play, like he is slow as hell. Like the guy needs to just get more comfortable playing with some speed rushers here. But you know the reason he talks about 16 penalties? Because the guy holds when the guy bends around him. This guy could be a Hall of Fame level guard. And he could eventually move out to tackle 100%. That's why I like to send him to the Bengals. But if you think for a second that this guy is going to go and protect Tua Tagovailoa day one against speed edge rushers, against Bill Belichick, who's going to definitely scheme against his lack of athleticism, you're screwed. You're screwed. At least get, like, in my mocks, I send like maybe Trevor Penning to this team because, you know, at that point, screw it. At least he can be like, he has a wide ass frame. He doesn't usually get totally torched on the outside. He can throw dudes. Why? Like, and I love Tyler Smith. It's just, this is the one place I just don't see him working. I just don't. Chiefs getting Dax Hill. I can see it. Can definitely see it because Tyrann Mathieu is supposed to be gone. Yeah, I vibe with that. Bengals getting Bernard Ryman. You know what? Just continue getting Joe Burrow killed. You do you, boo. Detroit Lions getting Jordan Davis. I don't really get that. I don't know why. Like, again, no disrespect to Jordan Davis here because I even gave him hype for number 16 overall. But why? You're not like, your offense is pretty lackluster. There's still some solid wide receivers on the board, and you go after a defensive tackle. I don't really get that. You're getting after Damon Snacks Harrison here. Yeah, I don't know. So overall, I think this is actually a really piss poor draft, and I have a lot of respect for Daniel Jeremiah. That's why I'm willing to say it's a piss poor draft, because some people just suck at mock drafts, and like there's a lot of guys on TDN. Daniel Jeremiah shouldn't be one of them, and I mean, he was the guy putting Tutu Atwell in the first last year. So I mean, he's kind of in between where I had Tutu and where he put him. So I guess it kind of works, but yeah, no, absolutely garbage. That's just the simple fact of it. But thank you guys so much for watching and staying tuned with all the stuff. See you guys on the far side. Peace.